Start recording. All right. Yeah, Pepsi. All right. Here's the start.
What? Peanut butter jelly time and a baseball bat. Three, two, one. Whoa. Welcome back, everybody, to the Benchwarmers podcast.
To the Benchwarmers podcast. I was going to say it like that for some reason. I don't know why.
We get everybody in the zone real quick, and then,
Yeah, you just get zoned in. I was putting my hands on my mouse and keyboard. It's like I was going to play a game just then.
We're gaming out. We're starting the stream here.
I was just doing that. What were you saying?
We're just going to start streaming games, We're going to scrap the podcast, change over to games.
Start gaming?
Start gaming out. We actually have started a Minecraft world recently.
Yeah,
we've been playing Minecraft.
Put the check it out. Well, actually, you can't check it out because we haven't done anything yet. But you'll check it out eventually. You'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see it eventually. I don't know how, but you're gonna see it.
Is twitch.tv/trash media. So we're there. Not yet.
It's coming.
But we
Not
will.
Yet, of course.
We will be wildebeest.
We will be wildebeest. When you go on there, we're
gonna be hairy
crazy.
and just an absolute mess.
We're gonna be monsters.
My face is gonna be straggly and old, and
you're gonna
full of hair.
So yeah, that's coming soon.
Like not even just a beard length too, forehead and everything.
Everything. It's all grown in.
Why don't we grow hair on a forehead?
That's a good question. Why don't we grow hair everywhere?
You imagine shaving your forehead? That's how I shave. I shave like this.
Yeah. I just go all the way. I know bald people start at the back of their head and they just go all the way down. They just start and they just go full.
Just go all the way
sweeps.
down.
It's like a Zamboni and
shave everything.
And a rink.
Yeah, it's like hair on your body that you think is pointless. And the only hair that I'm talking about that you think is pointless on your body is eyebrows. Until you actually take your eyebrows off and then you realize how hilarious it looks.
Yeah, you're like, eyebrows, they can't be that important. And then you look at pictures and when then people have their eyebrows edited off and it's like, right.
Whoa, dude, you look kind of weird.
Whoa, dude, you look like...
Now, no doubt, there's probably some people out there with no eyebrows and they look fine, but not me, man. I need these big bushy things on my face.
I need these hairballs.
I need these caterpillars. Yeah, this podcast started out going nowhere.
Started crazy.
Crazy?
You ever see those like edited pictures? Like you know how people will have like I said, like they'll edit the eyebrows off.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen those pictures where upside down the face looks normal, but when it gets flipped back around, the mouth and the eyes are actually upside down?
What?
You ever see those?
No.
So it's like a thing that happens in your brain. It's like it like tricks your brain, but like you look at a picture and from the original picture is the face upside down. So you're looking at an upside down face. When the picture gets flipped over on the picture, the mouth and the eyes are actually flipped upside down. But when the picture's upside down, for some reason, it looks normal. I don't know. It's really trippy.
I think is that just an optical illusion?
Yeah, something. It's some kind of illusion. I was fooled.
It's an illusion. It's optical. What is an optical illusion? I know what it is. Everyone relax. All right. I just mean
calm down over there.
Optical. So it means it's just a visual illusion, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Optical visual. That's what I'm gonna name my new eye when I open my new eye studio, whatever that means. Eye studio.
I think it's already taken. Optical.
Optical
Vogue
visual. Optical visual.
Yeah, you might get a little copyright issues mixed in there. But
I'll just spell like my optical with like OPK or something.
Like optical. Like it's actually like a tickling factory.
It's optical visual. So you see the tickling.
Yeah, short for like Operation Tickle Project or something like that.
Yeah, you go in there to get tickled.
Yeah,
that's a bit weird.
It is a bit weird. I gotta say there probably will be a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's questionable.
See, they got to
Probably not do that.
experience it. It's all
Probably.
about the experience.
It's a joke. Everyone just relax. All
Relax,
right.
everyone.
I'm not opening whatever that thing is. All right. We're gonna
Operation
move
Tickle
right on
Factory.
from that. We're gonna move on from that. All right. Because it's just gonna get off the rails.
Some people just need a tickle sometimes, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, sometimes, not all the
Sometimes.
time.
Who
But if
likes
you're going
tickles?
to a place to get it, it's like a massage parlor.
Yeah, if you have to go to a place to get tickled, there's something wrong.
Like you might have some no.
There's something going on
There's
there. If
there's
you got to
something
go to a
there.
place to get tickled,
Yeah, there's something there for sure. You got something,
yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
know
I
what it
mean, what is
is.
the demand for tickles? Do you think people would actually pay for that? They come in and you just
I
lie
don't.
down and
I feel like it'd just be like in Canada, it'd just be like covered under your MCP. You know?
it's a medical procedure
Yeah,
getting tickled.
it gets like recommended by your doctor.
Yeah, doctor's like, I'll prescribe you for 2 hours bi-weekly getting tickled,
Yeah,
and he
that's
just
all you
sends it to
need.
the pharmacist.
That's all you need. Laughter is the best medicine. You know, just get it out.
Yeah,
Just
and
get
the
it out.
pharmacist just slips you like a card that gives you access to this tickle building,
Yeah, you just slide it
government
in.
government financed and everything. The tickle project.
Yeah, yeah. For you,
There's
those
a
in the
new
states, you'd have to pay for it, but here, free healthcare.
free healthcare. Those are free tickles. Just throwing
Well,
away tickles here.
I don't know about free, but they're there. Well, yeah, that's that. We got do anything happen in sports world lately? I don't really think so. I think
So
we're just
this
continuing
is
on,
something
are
that I
we?
wanna something that I want to talk about real quick. It's not a huge topic, but
Mm-hmm. Yep.
so
Do that.
Justin Thomas won the Players Championship tournament golf in golf,
Yep.
and Justin Thomas recently lost his grandfather, and this is what I wanted to
R.I.P.
talk about how stupid and terrible reporters are, honestly. So this reporter asks, literally, he just won the Players Championship, just won the tournament, and all
Yep.
this reporters asks about is Tiger and his dead grandfather. Like,
Like the dude just lost the
yeah,
like
and
I think
of course he cried, because I mean, who wouldn't? But like, he says, the reporter said something along the lines of like, how does it feel not having him here at the tournament? How do you think it feels?
yeah, like I don't even know if I do the interview.
I'd just be like, dude, what?
Like maybe I understand like people say like for example people who work out or bodybuilders or whatever they were like yeah I was in the gym like right after something like that happened because I feel like it's just a way of a release, like the way to get away, like to get out of my own thoughts, and it helps me cope with it and deal with it. And
Yeah,
maybe golf is that for him. But
yeah.
like I don't know if I do an interview, I think I'd just decline it. I'd be like nah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was like super recently, but it was like a couple months ago,
Yeah, so
I
obviously he
think.
was real close.
Yeah,
Like he was really close to his grandfather. But like what I mean is that like I'd still like if that's the kind of questions they're asking or whatever, I think I'd decline the interview. I'd be like,
yeah.
nah, I don't want to talk about this.
Like obviously, the only reason they asked him that type of question is to get a reaction out of him. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I
it's
mean.
just,
Like I'd just be like, nah, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to talk about this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'll talk about golf all day long, but like I'm not doing this.
yeah,
That's my opinion, and maybe I mean he had to go into the interview thinking they were going to bring it up because I mean he must know the press by now, like
oh yeah,
you know what I mean, like so he wasn't unaware that they weren't going to bring it up, but like I think I'd just be like at that point I'd be like nah and just leave.
yeah. I swear, golf reporters, the only two things that they ask is personal information and how did you think you played
Because
today.
they
That's
have
literally
nothing
all
else
the.
to talk about. That's
No,
the problem. They have
yeah.
nothing else to talk about. Because
Number
it's
one question
just
is
just think about
number
it
one
for a
question
second.
is like, how you feeling, or like, how do you think you played? And then the second thing is like, how do you think your kids feel about you being in the Masters or something like that? Like,
Yeah, but like just think about it for a second, all right? So you're a reporter. and you go up to a golf player, right? PGA. He does whatever. He just won whatever, done whatever, right? And you're going for an interview. What do you ask? What do you ask as a reporter? Hey, my name is Jim Bob from NC double two Golf News. How you feeling today? Like, what do you ask? You can't ask him how whatever because he can't. What do you ask? He's by himself. Golf is an independent sport. So what do you ask? Like you and your caddy getting along? Like, I don't know. Like
how you think you're gonna do tomorrow?
Like, it's just such a boring. No offense, like golf is a great sport, but it is a boring sport for someone to like ask questions about.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what
a
do you
solo
ask a golf
sport.
player?
And golf is just unpredictable. Like you could have an amazing day
Unless
today, and then tomorrow you'd have a terrible day.
listen, but there's like, yeah, exactly. And but what I mean is these independent sports are very boring to have post game interviews because there's literally what do you ask? What are you asking?
Yeah.
Right? What do you ask? Unless he sat down in a long form type content and they're asking like, oh, how he made his career and like how he got to this point and like he's discussing his life story of how he got to golf and how golf was his passion and how his dad like inspired him to be a golf player and he used to do it. Like that's different. What I'm saying is though, like post whatever game you're playing, right? You're playing in an open. Right, and then after the open, the reporter comes up to you. What is the reporter asking you? Like, what questions do they ask? Like, you think you did good out there? Well, you won, so you did.
Yeah.
Like, what
It's
do
like,
you ask them?
It's literally all they ask is like, how do you feel about your today's play? And they'll just respond with the same generalized answer.
They have no idea. They have no idea. It's the same thing with any sports. I agree. Like, reporters are just like, I think they just try to sneak. A lot of times they just want an answer out of sometimes. So they ask like so many questions and then they just try to slip that one question in there where they want an answer, and then they're just hoping that you'll answer. It's like any like type of press thing. I feel like they answer so many questions. They ask so many like the scripted questions, I'll call it, that they always ask. And then they just fly one question in there, some random person on, hoping that they're going to get an answer that they want.
Yeah,
right?
That's like the other night. A reporter asked Steph Curry, like, it was like after wins like this, how close are you and your wife or whatever? Like, are you in contact with her? He was like, it's my wife. Of course I talk to her.
What are you
like,
saying? What do you want me to say?
Like, Steph Curry just straight up said like, what do you mean? It's my wife. Like, obviously I talk to her.
So he asks him, is that even a word? Did I just even speak English just then?
I think you just said a full word, askism.
Yeah, I just made up a word, I think.
It's a new medicine, askism.
Yeah, we're gonna, you're having a slight problem. Doctor, I'm having an issue like with asking questions. I can't seem to get them out. I don't know what's going. I know. Hold on, I get the thing for you.
Gonna refer you to a psychiatrist.
I'm gonna refer you to your local pharmacist, and he's going to give you some askism, and you're gonna take 2 tablets once a day for the next 12 weeks, and it should clean you right up. Right? All right. You continue on your way. All right, that's another conversation. But I want to just remind me prescriptions because I want to get into that after. But so
just waiting for this conversation
back
to come
to the just remind me prescriptions, and then I'll know what you're talking about. If I can't remember, we'll probably both forget. Anyway, I'm rambling. Back to the point. Reporters, right? I don't know if I think what it is they make their own. They write their own. They write their own questions, and then because they want to whatever, because that's their job, right? I think what happens is they want to sell it to like a news broadcasting thing, or maybe they work for the firm, right? I think they do. Most of them work for. I don't think any of them are private, but they work for this thing, and they write their questions because they want to get certain answers, and they want to be that big headline.
Yeah, they want people to get clicks on their company or whatever.
Right, they want to get that big thing. I'm not really sure how reporting works, but like in my opinion, it's pointless because reporters I don't think any of them know anything about the sports,
No.
anything about sports, because like they ask questions and they're all pointless questions.
Yeah, they have no idea what they're talking about.
If you watched any post game interview, you watched every post game interview.
Yeah.
Any sport, they're all the same. They're all the same. They
Yeah, they ask the same thing.
all of them give the same answers, and they're all the same
Yeah.
because they're always answered the same questions. Oh, this. Oh, how do you think you played it there tonight? What do you think you could have done better? What do you think you guys lost tonight? What do you think you guys? What did you do? This game was the first game you guys won off of a 4-game losing streak. What was different tonight? It's
Or it's
all
like
the same.
how is your defensive plan going to change for tomorrow night's
Mm-hmm.
game and stuff like that. It's just all all
You know,
generalized questions, and then they'll throw in one
just
of these
came.
weird questions.
Yeah, and then it's
But
like, oh, just came off of a big win. You didn't end up pulling through tonight. What do you think you could have done different to come back in the next one? It's always like, man, we just gotta keep playing hard.
yeah,
Keep pushing from the outside. I just feel like our defense wasn't on tonight, and that's what cost us the game.
he's
It's
like,
always the same. I could literally. My computer may have just died.
what just happened?
So what I was saying is that like they're basically everything is the same. They're boring. I don't know if anybody else agree. I agree. And they got to be like, I feel like when they're pulled away, I feel like after the game, like I guess in hockey, any sport's the same, but like in the NBA, I know when they're like they're pulled away like on the floor and they're like going to go into the dressing room. I feel like they're like, oh,
Yeah,
like, you know what
it's
I
like,
mean?
oh my,
Because it's like.
especially after a loss too.
Yeah, and then just getting absolutely. And what is it when they walk into that area with the press conference and they like sit down and then
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah. They sit
and the
down there
mic
just
is
like,
on. Why don't they turn the mic on when the guy sits down instead of having the mic on when the whole way they walk into the room, the mic's on.
yeah, yeah. They do this little thing. They walk in, they sit down, they go, and then they do a little look around. They look
Yeah,
around at
yeah, and
everybody.
they're like, yeah, all right. There's always a cough too for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
know
they're
why
like,
there's always a cough. They can't do that now
and
though.
it's
It's
like,
COVID. Can't
they're
cough
like,
now.
Steph, you put up a lot of shots tonight. How
Oh, you
confident were you
forgot that
feeling
you
out
forgot
there?
to introduce who you were. They always introduce who
Oh
they
yeah.
are.
Yeah, he's like Steph, Mike Swasney from NBC News. How did you put up a lot of shots out there tonight? How do you think you played, and what was your percentages like?
Oh, and there's always this dude off on the side that you can't see him, and he's always like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, him in the back," and he's like,
yeah,
he's always like directing it for some reason.
yeah,
There's always
yeah,
this dude that's off camera, doesn't have a mic, and he's just like directing the questions. He's
yeah,
like, cause Steph's just here, and then you can always hear him in the back. He's always like, "All right, yeah, 2 more questions, you."
yeah,
I'm like, who is this man, and why is he directing?
yeah. And they're always like, I think we did good out there tonight, and we just got to get back out there and keep playing hard. It's all the
It's
same.
literally every answer to every sports interview ever made
Yeah,
in the history of
yeah.
ever. It's
In the
it's
history
just
of ever.
like I don't understand the purpose of sports interviews. And then you get those stupid questions like Russell Westbrook was asked that time. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's got to
Did
be
you guys?
one of the stupidest
You,
questions in history.
yeah. Did you guys lose tonight, or did the Milwaukee Bucks win? Like, what?
What does that question even mean?
What are you
Yes.
talking about, man?
Like I feel like that it came around to him and all of us. This is what I feel like. He's sitting there, right, and he has a good question. He's like, "Yeah, how did your defense? How do you feel like you played on? How did you feel your defense was, or something like that? Like, do you think you could have stepped up your defense?" And he has like 3 questions or 4 questions wrote down. He's hoping he gets an answer, right? He's hoping he gets an answer, so he has his hand up or whatever to do. I don't know. The dude's directing in the back, whatever he does. I don't know. They pick a number, like, hey, like. I don't know. Anyway, so he's in the back, and he's like, all right, I was going to ask this question. And then the first guy goes, he asks it, and he's like, oh, I can't ask that one because he already asked it. Then the second guy goes, he asks that question, so he can't ask that. Then the third guy goes, he asks his third question. He's like, I have no questions left. And
He's like,
then
I don't know what to do.
so then he's not expecting to get picked. And then at the fourth time, like that time in class where you're like not really, like, you're like reading, and then you're not really paying attention. Your teacher's like telling you to follow along, and you think you're not
Yeah.
gonna get picked to read, and then all of a sudden the teacher's like, yeah, your turn to read, and you're like fat. You're trying to, hopefully someone's asking a question so you can find the spot on the page where you
Yeah,
are. You're
you're
like, and then you're like, yeah, because I always got lucky where it'd be like I wasn't really paying attention, and someone asked a question. I'm like, find it, find it, find it, find it. Ah, okay. And then I just start reading as if I was paying attention the whole time. This is what this
yeah.
guy is like, right? So he's like, he feels like he's prepared the whole time, but then everyone else asks a question. He's the last one. Then he steps up and he's like, yeah, you in the blue shirt, and he's like, did you guys win tonight, or did the Milwaukee Bucks win, or did you guys lose? And it's like, wait,
What are you
what,
talking about,
what are you
man?
saying? And that's what I'm saying. So like, from his perspective, he's out here sweating. He probably got fired after that. Poor guy.
Yeah. Dude's probably gone.
Dude got left, went back to the office and got that, and he was like, so what questions did you get for us tonight? And he's like, oh,
Like,
you asked him. Wait. He's like, give me your tapes or give me your whatever.
No, he gets back to the office. He gets back to the office and he walks in and everybody's just looking at him. He opens up the door and everybody's just looking at him as he walks in. They're all
Everyone's
just
like
watching
this.
him walk by.
And there's always that one dude in the back where he's like,
Yeah. And one dude stands up and he's like, the boss wants to see you in his office.
yeah.
And he goes to the office and the boss is like,
yeah, he just
boss is
knows.
like, boss is like, take a seat, Jerry. Saw the clip of you tonight. What was that?
Yeah, he like hits his hand on the desk.
Yeah.
He's like James Jonah Jameson on Spider-Man.
Yeah. He's like, gosh darn it, Jerry. I told you what to say.
I told you. What was that questions out there, Jerry? Have some respect.
He just slaps him.
That was a slap to Jerry, by the way, if you didn't know. He's like, have some respect for this company. You think this is a joke?
Pack up your things. You're done. I want you out by the end of the day.
And don't even think about turning around to come back out here. And he's one of those
Don't even
bosses
look
too
back.
that like got a glass door and you knock on it and then they're like, who is it?
Yeah. Who's there?
Yeah.
That,
They're
that's
always
funny.
one of those people.
It just reminds me of like all those movie cliches. And I seen a couple of videos of this guy who went through all these like corny movie lines.
Yeah.
So it's like, a couple of them were like, oh my gosh, what were they now? Oh yeah, it's like when someone's like walking and he's like, go to your left. And he's like, your other left, stuff like that. Like
yeah.
it's just corny lines that are just in every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's pretty funny because
like ends it up.
you don't even notice it when you're in the movie. It's like that. Like we just explained a scene that's probably in like 20 movies. And it's all the same scene.
Oh yeah, the boss is always that dude that's in this like head office. I understand because most movies are based that with people with jobs in office-based settings, which is really weird. It's always weird that movies most of the time are based in like any movies that you watch that are based in like office buildings. So that's what you have, right?
Yeah.
When like I don't know if that's like it in real life. Like I work in an office building, but not like that kind of office building. I work in like a shop building, I guess you could call it. I don't know what do you call it. Anyway, but yeah. So here we are. But so like I don't know. It's like I don't even know why those are positions, to be honest. Like those people get paid for like I don't even know how reporters get paid, to be honest. I don't know if they're like on a payroll or do they get paid per like what event they attend to? Like are they paid to be there? I don't know. Or do they go out and get information and then bring it back? And
I don't
then
know
they
if they're
get paid based on that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're paid like commission. It's not really commission, but you know what I mean, like for their work, like how much work they do and how successful they are. I think they are because I think they like so just say if it was like the New York Times or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a New York Times article, you see the person who wrote the articles, like their name on the top of the article. So I feel like every time it gets a click or like every time someone say buys the newspaper, they get uh, like a percentage or something.
I wonder what it's like to be in a news reporter, like reporting like at a place like where it's like real bad. You know, the news always cuts to this one
Yeah,
lady and she's standing out in the weather for some reason.
yeah. See, I think that you're just like a news person then, so they're probably on like a payroll.
Yeah,
Like they're
they're
probably
because
on.
they're paid by the news. They're paid by the broadcasting. They're paid by the
Yeah,
company. But
they're
like
not finding out information. I don't think they're just there to
a
tell the
journalist is
information.
though, like a
Yeah, journalist is.
journalist, because
Yeah,
they like go and write news stories, but they're not necessarily behind like they're not in front of the camera though. They're just
yeah.
writing news stories,
But the
like
person who's like
articles.
telling the story behind the camera, they don't get any
Like
like.
I always picture a journalist that were like, "Oh, I have a great idea for a headline article." Like you know what I mean? They're kind of like
Yeah, they're just talking
artistic.
together. They're just like,
Yeah,
oh, I
they
just came
like
up with the greatest idea.
they gather at Starbucks and sit around a table
Yeah,
on their MacBooks, and they're like,
yeah. And they're like,
"I just
I
found a
just got
I
the
just found a
best
great
idea.
article. I just found a great article. I think I'm gonna email. I think I'm gonna email the CEO of bushwhacking companies, and I'm gonna find out what their next pyramid scheme is for their companies to enroll in a successful business pyramid scheme." And it's like, yes, that is it. Next thing,
Yes,
and it's
yes. How did we
published.
not think of this?
If you didn't know, that was them typing on their Macs aggressively, by the
Mhm.
way, because they
I
have
feel
to
like
have,
journalists,
and I feel like
they get an
their bosses are super strict too. There's like,
yeah,
told you to have this out by Friday. You know
but
what
I
I
feel
mean?
like journalists, they go like this. They sit down like, I got the greatest idea. They sit down, they're like, okay.
Yeah, you always gotta like come up with ideas. That's why I'm not I wouldn't be a good journalist because I like you gotta go and get like factual information and all that kind of thing, and you
Yeah,
gotta make like
as you guys
and
know,
it's
we don't
all
have any facts for
you
you.
always got them, and I feel like you know what it is. Like they're like my article got published, and then like they're sitting in their house, and they're like, "Oh, please be it, please be it, please be it." And then they like all of a sudden they hear ding dong, and it's the newspaper at their door, and they're like, "Please, please, 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 yes."
It
And
just
it's like
flipping it
the
like,
made the top. It like made the cover page of the magazine or like the newspaper
yeah.
or whatever, and they're like, "I did it. I've
They're like,
made the cover."
look at this. They frame it. They put it in the
And
frame.
then they like fling open their curtain and like
Yeah,
stand in a row with their cup of coffee and like
yeah. For
sip
some
it.
reason, like naked in a robe.
Yeah, why are you
It's like,
naked in a robe for one? Robes are a bit
I
weird.
don't know. Robes are weird. I've never used a robe.
When do you use a robe? When is the appropriate time to use a robe?
I,
Is it for people who get dressed in their room? Like so like you put on the robe after you get out of the shower and then you walk to your place of dressing?
yes. Yes.
But I feel like that's such a rich person thing to do.
Some people just relax in their robes, I think.
This feels so odd.
I know. You're just one pull of a string away from just being
No,
fully exposed.
I know what a robe is for. Robe, if you got a robe, you definitely got a hot tub. Gotta be. Outdoor hot tub. You're in the
I feel
hot
like
tub,
people don't.
you get in the hot tub, and then you put on your robe.
I feel like people just have robes to have robes, you know?
I feel like a robe is like a husband and wife thing. Like they like get
I think
in.
there's a lot of young people who wear robes. I
Is
think there
there?
is a lot
Is
more than
there?
I think there's a lot more than what you realize.
Is there a lot of young people that wear robes?
I think so.
I don't
I
know.
think the robes are the new move
Like,
nowadays.
is there?
I
Is
think
robes a
so.
new thing? Like,
I
are
think it's
people
like a
out here
movement.
like? I can feel like some like people are wearing like out here wearing Versace robes and thinking they're like
Yeah,
king of the planet. But
that's what
like,
I mean.
don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about
I'd
them. I'm
throw on
just
a
saying.
robe.
I don't know. Oh, I had a robe. We had robes at one point. I think. I don't think I'm telling the truth here.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
yeah, we definitely did. They were gray or maybe
Yeah,
dark blue. I don't
yeah,
know.
they were dark blue. We
Dark
never
blue.
ever wore them.
Never. I think we put them on once, and it felt really weird.
It
It
did
was just
feel
like a.
weird. It feels a bit weird because do you be naked in underneath them or do you just wear
See,
underwear?
I think what the new move people are doing with the robes is they're putting on like a tank top and like underwear, and they're just rocking the robe. You know.
That is just odd. That is
I know, but like,
strange.
if you do rock a robe naked, I mean, you're just one hand pull away from, exposing yourself.
There's a bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's strange, but all right. Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Why is it that everybody in movies, when they walk out onto their porch, they gotta be wearing a robe with a white t-shirt on and boxers?
It's always a robe, and the robe is
It-
open with boxers
yeah,
and like yeah,
it's
like,
open.
and
And
who
the
wears
strings
the
are just
big?
dangling
Who
down.
wears those baggy boxers anymore?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people wear those too.
What?
I don't know. I feel like a
Now
lot
I
of people
think you're
do.
just saying stuff here.
I honestly have no clue. Like, how am I supposed to know what people wear underneath
No,
their
like in
clothes?
their privacy of their own
Yeah.
humble abode. But like what I'm saying is that I think I'm sorry, I thought there was something on my mic. But what I think is that not many people are wearing robes. I think robes are like middle class, husband and wife, have an outdoor hot tub type people, and like they sit in the hot tub on like an evening, and sip on their wine, and they just talk about stuff, and they have like kind of music, low music playing, and then
Yeah.
when they get out of the hot tub after they're done, they put on their robe and go inside because they're
Yeah. That definitely does happen, but I feel like it's the robe is more prevalent than you realize. I think people are
I
rocking
know,
robes.
and then the other part of the robe is where you get out of the shower and do it. I feel like like an older person thing, where like I feel like you're
Yeah.
like 50 plus, you know,
Yeah. You get up in the morning, or you get up in the morning and you come downstairs and
in your
you
robe
got your
though.
robe on. Yeah, I see that in movies.
I don't know if people do
You got
that.
this
Maybe
you got
if
this
you're like a
older
single
man, the
couple.
dad, and he's got kind of like a gut, and he walks down with like he just comes
Yeah,
down, with a paper in his hand.
maybe if you're just a couple like with the kids, but I feel like people with kids and work, they just come down fully dressed and ready and eat breakfast and leave the house, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like, but if you're like a what I mean by single, I mean like a couple with no kids, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, how early you getting up that you just gotta come down in your robe and like get breakfast and then go up and shower, and like
Yeah,
how early you waking up? Like you getting
there's
up at
definitely people who
4:30
do it.
a.m.
I think there's definitely people
I
who
can
do it
see
out
it on
there.
a weekend, or if you don't work on the weekends. But like what I'm seeing is like I can see it on your time off or like whatever, but like
Yeah.
not on a work day.
You guys robe
Goodness.
wearers? Let us know in the comments.
Probably don't. But like, do you wear like underwear inside of your robe, or
Yeah,
does it
that's a real
depend on
question.
the equation?
Depends on the equation. If I'm in a heavy math problem, then I go naked.
I see. Yeah, like so. Let us know. I feel like the only time I wear a robe is that I wear it
Never,
for when
because we never
I
wear
get out of
robes.
the shower and then I have to walk to my room to get my clothes. But why would I do that when I could just bring the clothes in the bathroom with me?
Some people don't bring their clothes in the bathroom.
What is wrong with these people?
I bring my clothes in, get all dressed. But I feel
When
like
I
people like,
listen, when I come out of the shower, I am like ready to leave the house. I got
yeah,
my
same
coat
here.
and boots and everything on. Like I'm just ready to leave.
I got my winter boots on, everything. I
I
have
don't
snow,
I
you know.
don't leave the house. I don't leave the house without coming out of the bathroom. That's just it.
I actually have a doorway from the bathroom to outside, so I just leave.
Yeah, yeah. Like I have a passageway from my bathroom straight outside.
Yeah, just like Narnia in the closet. You walk directly to the outdoors.
Yeah, yeah. You just walk through my bathroom closet right outside.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that like I'm not okay. Get this right. You slap on that robe and then you walk in the cold. Not saying it's cold in your house, but you know what it's like when you just get a shower. It's all warm and nice in there.
Yeah.
And then you open the door and you walk through the cold to go get dressed. This seems pointless, doesn't it?
I feel like it could be refreshing because you are in such like you're in like the hot bathroom and
No,
then you
not
come out
me.
into like the
I want to
little bit of
stay.
the
I want to stay in there.
See,
All
I'm
the
not
warmth.
when I get out of the shower, I feel like
Especially
getting out of the bathroom.
especially in the morning when you like wake up and you're cold and whatever. Oh, it's just so nice just to stay in that heat. I love that heat.
I love that heat.
So nice. Anyway, I'm gonna get off the topic of showers because that's all we've ever talked about. Apparently, is
Yeah,
showers
all
and
we talk about
food.
is nakedness and private
We always just
time.
talk about showers and food. That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
No, but what I was saying is about we're gonna bring it back to um
Slowly keep shifting my camera here.
reporters for a second. Let us know about if you know any information about reporters. That's all I want to know because I really don't know what their pay is like how they do it. Maybe you're a reporter. Maybe you can tell us. But if you're not, then let me know if you know anything. Like literally anything. If you know anything, just let me
Anything,
know. But
just drop it down in the comments.
yeah,
Anything.
like anything. But what I want to say about prescriptions is that like, how do doctors read that? Or how does
You mean head of pharmacists?
It's just not my night.
It's just not it.
I got like 14 hours of sleep last night because I just fell asleep like I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. Um, I fell asleep. I don't even remember falling asleep, and
I
then
went to bed and I have no idea.
I didn't even go to bed. I was on the couch and I just fell asleep, and then next thing you knew, I woke up and it was 2:45 a.m. and I'm like, wow, I fell asleep.
I was up watching these YouTube videos. I'm in this like this, I don't know what you call it, like this phase where I'm continuously watching these like mystery videos on YouTube. They're like video essays kind of, and they go into like internet mysteries and all this, like, it's
It's a
but
bit
yeah, I've
weird.
just been watching a whole bunch of those.
Yeah. How that's been,
Yeah,
how have that been working out for you?
you know, a little. I'm pretty entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not with us?
Well, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
there's been
What are you
a
saying?
couple good ones. I watched. There was one about a couple weird sites that was up, and had one about like the Bermuda Triangle. That one was kind of boring though. I didn't watch that one. And whoa, sorry guys, not an earthquake here, but I just rocked your world.
Oh, all right, that got personal. Anyway, continue on.
Yeah, so that's basically all I wanted to say about that.
That's all you want to say with that. Anyway,
Yeah,
back to
the
that. Where did that go, by the way? How did we end up here? I was gonna
I don't
say, I
know.
was talking about prescriptions, then we end up with you watching mystery videos in your bed.
Yeah, I don't really know how we got there. I don't really know how we get to half of the things that we talk
I
about.
don't know how I got here, to be honest.
I
I
physically
live
can't
here.
remember getting
I
here.
live here. But anyway, so I fell asleep, and I don't. What am I saying? Where are we going? I meant to say prescriptions. Well, how did I get to falling asleep?
Where
Oh,
are you
because I was
going?
tired. Right. I'm telling you, my brain's not functioning because I'm tired. I was tired because I got 14 hours of sleep last night, which makes absolutely no sense because I shouldn't be tired, but I
Makes
am,
no
and it's
sense.
not even late. Well, it is kind of, but
Not compared to when we usually film.
no. Usually
We're usually just
we're
starting now.
no, we're usually like just thinking about starting now,
We're usually just like, just, you know, not even
and we're
started.
really behind. We need to get caught up somewhere. We're super
Yeah,
behind. By the
we're
way, guys,
slacking on the
but here
videos.
we are again talking about stuff that absolutely doesn't matter to the audience, like we
Has
always do.
no relevance to you guys, but we've been slacking on the videos.
Yeah, it's bad. We need to
We
get
weren't
caught
even
up.
gonna film today because we just wanted to play Minecraft so bad. But we're
Well, that probably could have not stayed on the podcast, but all right.
well, we're here now filming this episode, and we want to be here. We're not. It's not like we're just we hate this podcast, but
No, like there's some days you just feel tired because you got 14 hours of sleep, and
yeah.
you just don't feel like talking. That was my thing. But anyway, I talk a lot, in a run of a day. I talk to people. I talk to
Just do a
myself.
lot of talking.
I talk to myself a lot. When you live by yourself, you just tend to talk to yourself. That's another question before we get back to what I was saying before. Um, do okay. Like some people say, like, okay, if you talk to yourself or whatever. Some people say like, oh, you're crazy or whatever. But if you mean to tell me, just think about it for a second. You mean to tell me if you're in a place by yourself and you live by yourself, you never ever say a word to yourself, so you just walk around in complete silence?
I think they say talking to yourself is healthy.
Yeah, they do, but like some people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I don't talk to myself." Yes,
Because
you
you don't
do,
talk to
dude.
yourself. Everybody talks to themselves.
Cause like how okay, if you're living on your own, right? If you're in an apartment like I am, I'm living on my own, so it's like, so you're just here and like you're like, oh well, like if I forget something, I'll be like, or if I'm like doing anything, I talk to myself just because I'm here by myself. So like, who am I else talking to? So you mean to tell me if you don't talk to yourself, you just walk around in complete silence? You know how psychopathic that is? That seems to me like you're just walking around all the time. You're driving or like you're doing anything by yourself, and you're just like this. Like you don't do anything. You don't say like the first thing I do most of the time when I get home, like I turn on the TV and I have the TV going in like the background, and I like cook supper, and like most of the time I'll be like, oh yeah, gotta do whatever. Like I won't say like what out loud. I'm like, oh yeah, to close, and I'll like go do laundry or go do whatever. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this here. I talk to myself a lot just because like I don't know why, I just do, just because I feel like I have to. I don't know. It's just a natural thing. I don't really think about talking to myself. I just do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
I think
just
it's
your
just a
brain's.
natural human instinct to do that when
Yeah.
you're by yourself.
It's just your brain's like thoughts coming to your mouth. What you're thinking is just what
Yeah,
you say.
but I'll do that like even when I'm thinking about something at work. Like if I'm with someone, or if we're doing or whatever, and I'm thinking about something at work, I'll be like, all right, I just need to put this one back here. This goes up here. This goes here, and it's
Someone's like,
like,
"What?"
yeah,
You're like, "Leave me alone."
no, yeah. And if there's someone's like, you talking to me? I was like, no, just talking to myself. And like I don't know, I just do it just because sometimes when I say it out loud to myself, something it makes sense for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know why. It just does. Sometimes when I say it out loud, I think that's a big thing. You know when they say like when you teach somebody, you actually learn yourself too. Like you understand it more yourself because when you're teaching somebody or whatever, I think
Yeah.
that's the same thing for me when I like say something out loud that I don't understand. If I say it out loud, I tend to be like, "Oh, that's why." Right? I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have those moments a lot when I just say stuff out loud. So talking to myself helps me. So for all you freaks out there that say you don't talk to yourself, you're lying. All
You're a
right?
lying freak.
You're a bunch of liars. I don't believe you.
I
That's
won't
all I
do
got to
it.
say on that. All right?
Yeah.
But
So we've been trying to talk about this prescription thing for the whole episode.
yeah, but what I wanted to say was that um yeah, I just want to ask you to talk to yourself when you're alone.
That's all you had to say about the prescriptions.
No, some people might say I need a prescription for that, but I think it's completely normal. I think it's a sign
It's,
of a healthy thing. I think it's a
they say
healthy,
it's
normal
healthy
thing.
because your brain is just like functioning. It's just running.
Yeah, my brain's always running. Sometimes running a little bit too much. I'm like, all right, brain, time to tone it back a little bit here. We don't need to think
All
about
right.
this.
Slow down a little bit.
Sometimes my brain's like, oh yeah, by the way, remember this? And I'm like, no, I don't. Just stop, please. All right, we're gonna tone that back. All right, we're not doing anything that has to do anything with that. So what are we doing? Why is this here now? You know what I mean?
Your brain's a weird thing. It's just
I feel like your brain just brings up stuff. It's like, yeah, I get this a lot sometimes where I'm like, and I'll catch myself doing it, where I'll think about something and then it makes me feel a certain way because I thought about it, and I'm like, what am I doing? Stop thinking about this. Like my brain, it's like I get stuck in my own head for a second, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, and it'll make me feel like whatever, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Like stop.
yeah,
I literally catch myself, and I'm like, I don't need to think about this. This is not. This is not even a thing right now.
yeah.
I don't know
Your brain's
why.
a weird thing.
I don't know why your brain just decides to pop something into the front of your head and it's like, oh yeah, by the way. I'm like, wait, no, not by the way. I thought I forgot about this. By the way, that back, whatever that was.
By the way, you remember that time in third grade when you fell down and embarrassed yourself?
Yeah, it'll be like, and sometimes this will happen where it'll be like, oh yeah, by the way, you remember when you said something stupid? And I'm like, but that doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
Why am I remembering this now?
yeah,
I don't understand. Like sometimes I don't try to. It'll just randomly. I could be sitting down watching the random YouTube video, and my brain just be like, "Yeah, remember this? This was stupid." And I'm like, Yeah, it was. And I catch myself thinking about it, and then I catch myself again. I'm like, what am I doing right now? What am I doing? So then I gotta like do something else because I gotta be like, no, I'm not thinking about this. Do you get that sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't, it doesn't happen a lot to me, but it'll happen like
M-
every now and then where I'll be like, what am I doing? Like this is
Yeah,
like, oh,
this literally means nothing right now. Why am I thinking about it? Like
yeah.
that's where I don't get. That's what I don't get. And it's not like I'm trying. It's not like I'm trying to put myself in a anxious position or a stressed position or whatever. I'm literally not thinking about anything. I'm just watching a YouTube video, and then all of a sudden, brain's just like, oh, by the way, now it's time to get anxious. But so what about this? I'm like, yeah, that was kind of not great. But why am I thinking about this now? Like
Yeah. Why
there's
are you bringing this to my attention?
I was so happy until now, and now you just made me feel like I want to curl up and cry. You know what I
And
mean?
sleep for 14 hours.
That's not why that's not why I slept for 14 hours. It's probably because I got like no sleep the night before. That's why.
That might have something to do with
I
it.
was stayed up way too late the weekend, and I got up way too early for staying up that late.
But
Fun fact: when the times go ahead, and when the daylight savings time affect you, and the times go ahead, and you go to bed at 2, and the times go ahead, so that means it's actually 3, and you wake up again at 6 a.m. Doesn't necessarily work right. You don't tend to function very well. And
yeah,
so
that's
then when 7 o'clock rolls around, guess what? You're tired.
yeah, you don't say.
Yeah. So 3 hours of
Really
sleep,
hit
not the great.
daylight savings really hits hard.
I don't know how
Just
I
hits
even
your core.
function, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's not a lot of
I
sleep.
worked that day too.
You worked hard.
I worked. I don't really remember it.
Just absolutely blacked out the
I was just
entire day.
I was just on autopilot. That's literally it. I was just on autopilot. It's the same thing when I like get up in the mornings and I get ready for work. I just in autopilot. Like I don't even think about what I'm doing half the time. I just know I've been doing this for whatever so much time, and I'm like, no, as soon as my alarm goes off, I'm like, all right, time to get ready for work, and I'm just in full autopilot. I don't even
Yeah. Do
think
you ever
about it.
do something? Do you ever? Are you ever in such like an autopilot zone that you do something that's completely like random and that you wouldn't normally do, but you do it, and then you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you ever do
I've
that?
done that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
in such autopilot to the point where like if I throw something off like in the morning, like say if I like say for my water bottle for example, say if I uh, uh left my water bottle at work usually, and then for one time I brought it home, I'll end up
Yeah.
leaving and forgetting it because I just in so much autopilot, I'm not even thinking about it. It could be on the counter right in front of me, but I just don't even
Yeah.
think I don't even acknowledge that it's there because I'm just expecting it to be at work. Like
Yeah.
it's so weird. I just get in full like work ready mode and gone.
Yeah.
Like it's odd to me. But yeah, that's all stemmed from getting a prescription from the doctor. By the way, if you didn't know. Uh, yeah. So back to that. Where did what where how did how do doctors
When
who what when where why? Who? What
uh,
was that, by the way? Like vowels, like A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y.
yeah.
Why was that? No pun intended.
So I actually I learned about this like it's sometimes why because
Because
let's
sometimes you're
see.
like, why are we doing this?
Wait, what is it now? Um
Because vowels are neither a vowel, like vowels. Y is this weird letter. I feel like that it was just tossed in between consonants and vowels. Because it was like, I feel like they just made those up. They were like, okay, these are vowels and these are
yeah.
consonants. Wait, we forgot about Y. Where's Y's gonna go?
So
Toss it into vowels. We'll just put it and sometimes Y.
yeah, it's I
When is
can't
it a
remember.
vowel? I never ever knew that. I never ever known when Y is a vowel.
I used to know this because it's like when you say I would like an apple, like you say an apple because there's a
Yeah. When I
vowel
want
there. So
an apple
an
instead of
apple.
I want a apple.
Yeah. I want a yellow. See there you would say like you wouldn't say an. I want an yellow.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't even sound right.
I I can't remember when it is.
I don't either. I don't know when it is. I don't know if I've ever been taught that when
I was taught.
I always knew that it was like A E I O U and sometimes Y. That's all
Yeah.
I ever known, vowels. And then it was like, oh, by the way, I always knew A E I O U, but I'm like, okay, those are used, but like when is like it's the same thing with orange. I don't know why we're sticking to fruit here, but like you would say like I have an orange, not
Yeah.
a orange, right? That would just sound weird.
What are you doing with a orange?
Yeah, it's like that just sounds weird. Like a orange. What are you doing with
Oh
a
my gosh.
orange?
I'm literally trying to figure this out right now. When is it a vowel?
Wait, where does I fall in there? Wait, hold on. So like like you would say at the beginning of a vowel. So like where if a vowel starts, you would say n. So like what
Yeah.
we were just saying, a n. So like an apple, an orange, and what starts with I that we use a n for? I'm
An
blanking right
icicle.
now.
I want an
Oh,
icicle. Or like
I
and
want an ice cube.
I
Right.
want an ice cube. You would still say an,
Right. Yeah. I gotcha.
but I
Yeah, I
think
just
it
couldn't think of a
has
word with an I right now.
yeah. I think it has something to do with it's a vowel when it falls in the middle of a word or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
I think you're right.
Um
Yeah, I think if it falls in the yeah, I think you're right.
yeah. Or like say if it was like fry. There it's like it's a vowel there, I think.
I want to fry.
Fry. But like if you have yellow, it's not a vowel there.
Because it's at the beginning of the word.
Yeah. But if
Yeah,
it's in
I
like the
think I
middle or
remember
end,
learning something about that.
yeah.
Where it's like, if it's, yeah, when it's considered a vowel.
Yeah.
Once again,
I might be completely wrong, but I don't know. I used to know
for
where like
those of
how
you
it
that
fit in.
English is your second language, like, I applaud you for learning English. Because I speak English and I still don't get it.
Yeah, English language is absolutely messed up.
Oh, it's so hard. Like I applaud you for learning how to speak English and to learn the English language because I'm still learning it and I don't even know it and I speak English.
Yeah, English is difficult. I have to
So
search up sometimes, like, you know.
I don't know why I had to state that I speak English. I'm pretty sure they figured that out by now.
Guess what, guys? I speak English.
No way.
Wait, what?
He's been speaking English the whole time?
Wait, say that again?
So these German subtitles were not right? What do you
So
mean?
wait, what are you talking about?
Wait, he's not. Wait. He's not French? No. What are you saying? Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, vowels. But yeah, I don't know when that is a thing. Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, I
That
mean, I
what
could
does that
easily search
rhyme?
it up, but
Below.
you know,
Let us know in the comments below. That rhymes. Yeah.
let us know in the comments below.
By the way, yeah. So back to that. Like, how do doctors read the scribblies on the prescription? Is that like scanned through a computer? It has to be.
Pharmacists?
Pharmacists. I mean, why do I keep saying doctors? Doctors write the
Uh,
notes. Pharmacists read them.
yeah. I no, I think
Do they actually know what it says? Did they
yeah, I
actually
think
go?
so.
Did they actually
Yeah,
go out and be like, "Oh, you need whatever"? I don't know
pretty
why you
sure,
had
yeah.
to be an English
It,
doctor, but
and
why do I keep saying
when
doctor?
you become a
Pharmacist.
doctor, do you just like I know that you have to write fast and all that in
But
school, but like
like,
why?
why don't they just write it out? Hey,
Yeah.
here's an idea. How about what? And the doctors are always gone for so long too. Like you're just waiting in the office. They're like, yeah, Dr. Wawinski will be right with you. And you're just
Yeah.
in there waiting. It's like, what is he doing?
And then he always walks in with prominence. He always just steps in. He's like, you
Yeah,
just
and
know
he's
he's in the
always
room,
like,
kind of.
or like washing his hands or like putting on gloves.
Yeah. He always
Every time I
walks in.
walk
He's like,
in to see the dentist, he was always washing his hands. Every
yeah,
single time. I don't know if that was the thing. He was like, make sure the patients see you like washing your hands so they know. And he's
yeah.
always washing his hands with gloves on. Did you notice that? Our dentist washed his hands with his gloves on. He put his I think he put his gloves on and then washed them.
I think that defeats the purpose of the glove.
But I'm pretty sure he had. Yeah, he definitely did. He had gloves on and he washed them. I hope that there were they were new gloves. And he wasn't just washing them from the last person.
I don't remember that. Washing
Yeah.
your hands with gloves
They
on.
were always so tight on his hands too.
Yeah, they were like cutting off circulation
I'm
at that
like,
point.
holy man, he must have did he how in the world did he get those on?
I guess that's why he doesn't want to take them off.
I guess that's why he washes his hands, washes the gloves in between each session.
Like at that point, why don't you just wash your hands, like, and just use your bare hands?
Yeah, because I feel like your hands are, yeah, but that's for his own thing. Because like I wouldn't want his bare hands in my mouth. I wouldn't, and he wouldn't want his bare hands in my mouth in his mouth.
You wouldn't want his mouth in your mouth.
Well, that would just be. I hope not, unless he's giving me like CPR on the operating thing. By the way, when would that be? Oh, fun fact: I almost got that done because I almost choked on a tooth once. That was bad.
Your dentist almost gave you mouth to mouth?
No, well, it might have had to. I was getting my couple teeth pulled out of wisdom. My wisest teeth were being extracted from my mouth cavity, and long story short, the dude didn't grab the tooth far enough, and I just felt everything here was numb. I wasn't put to sleep, by the way, when my wisdom teeth are out, so you can take that and shove it. But my tooth was hard to get out, so when he got it out, he went to grab it with the thing and like pulled out, but I think he couldn't get a hold of it, I guess, and I just felt everything here was numb, so I couldn't feel anything, but I could feel the tooth like sliding down my throat. So I was in the chair like this, and I like sat up. Like I like sat up because I could feel it slide. I'm like, I'm gonna choke, because I couldn't feel any of this, so I couldn't move anything. I was literally like this, and I couldn't move anything. Like I could have been like that for, I don't even know how long I was in there, to be honest. But like I had all this all numb. Like everything here was numb. My tongue felt like it was like the size of my whole mouth. Like it was like I couldn't. Everything here was just like, ugh. It was gross. So anyway, I went like this, and I sat up in the chair kind of quick because I felt it slip down my throat, and he like just hauled the tooth out and held it up and like dropped it, like, and walked out. No,
Seems like a very like ceremonial, like a very like.
No, it was a very intense moment. It was very intense. I literally thought I was gonna choke. I'm not even joking. I was literally sitting there, and I felt the tooth slide down. I'm like, I'm gonna choke right now, so I had to sit up. My automatic reaction was, and I like jumped up like this in the chair, and then I felt, and then he already had it out. I guess he grabbed it before I was able to sit up. But man, that like I couldn't, like I didn't even. It's not like I tried to sit up and be like whatever. Like it was just like automatic impulse. It was like a reflex. I just sat up like this because I thought I was gonna choke. That was So that's my story of me almost choking on my own tooth. Imagine if that's the way I went out though. That would have been horrible. I mean,
choking on your own tooth. I think you just swallow it.
I was like 19 at the time too, so I mean, I still had a whole life ahead of me, and I just choked on my own wisdom tooth at the dentist's office.
I feel like you.
What a horrible way to go out.
I feel like you just swallow your tooth though. I
mean, they're dentists; they should know CPR, right?
Yeah, or just know that if you swallow the tooth, it probably just wouldn't do anything to you.
Also, this dude was trying to break the Guinness World Records of trying to pull teeth too, so I don't know what was going on there, but it was very fast. Like he was going at light year speed. I was
Some
like, holy
specialists,
man.
some specialists have no
Yeah, that's
time
that's
for
what it,
anything.
yeah, and he was, because it wasn't my regular dentist. He was a dude that came in, and like he just came in there and was like, I'm like, all right, and he told me he's gonna pull all four, and I was like, that's cool, all right. By the way, that is an awful experience. Don't. I was gonna say don't get your wisdom teeth pulled, but like some people, I had no choice.
Don't
It was
ever do it.
I had no say in the matter. It was just like, yeah, you're going to have your wisdom teeth pulled. If not, you're going to be in a lot of pain when you get older because your tooth, it's just going to cause problems. So I was like, well, I'm getting them pulled. So anyway, I got my four out, and then when I sat down, this dude was just hauling them out like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah. These specialists have no time for anything. They just,
I feel like anytime you go to like I feel like those specialists is like you're wasting their time when you're there. They
yeah.
like don't want to talk about anything else. Like they're
It's like
very like
you're just in their presence. You're taking up their time for being there. You just
mhm.
they're
Yeah.
just when you're there, they just want to get straight to the point, in and out as fast as
Yeah,
possible.
because all they're concerned about is their clients, and
I
yeah,
mean, I understand they have a lot of like patience, but I mean, you can't have that much. You're a
but
specialist.
they don't have a lot of patience. Doom doom
Yeah,
ching,
they don't have a lot of
right,
patience.
right. Pun intended. See it, get it. Don't have it. All right, move on.
Figuring
Anyway,
out what you're putting down.
yeah, cooking what I'm crumbling.
Cookie crumble
Peanut peanut butter jelly time.
in a baseball bat. What does a baseball bat have that anything to do with peanut butter
Butter
and
jelly
jelly?
time in a baseball bat. I don't
Peanut
know
butter
what
jelly.
that. I don't know what that does with anything. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, and this is a podcast, so that's really bad. But
I guess all it is
yeah,
talking,
so
and we've gone blank.
what I'm saying is like, what do like how so what I was like the doctor. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this conversation about doctors and prescriptions. I can't get pharmacists for some reason. I haven't said pharmacist this whole time. I keep calling him a doctor, right? And I just keep. I can't even say anything. I can't talk right now. I'm telling you, my brain's not functioning. So what I was saying is that the doctor, not me. I'm not the doctor. I'm nowhere near a doctor. Oh goodness, that would be scary. Uh, no. So like the doctor has a computer, right? Can he just like go on a PDF document that's like got the edited version of the thing, and he just type in like ES20 plus G950, and then give you that,
Yeah, I
right?
don't know.
Why do they have to scribble it on a piece of like it's literally like receipt paper, like checkbook paper. You know, like when you write on a check, write out a check, and there's that like piece of paper behind it that like records the.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's literally that type
yeah,
of paper. It's like super
yeah.
thin, and like then you go
And
to give it to the pharmacist, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a prescription." He's like, "All right, get back to me in an hour." By
it's
the
not
way,
like some signature either. This is really important stuff they're giving here.
yeah,
Like,
like literally really important stuff. Like this is a prescription for medication, so
yeah.
it's like literally precise medication.
But I think what I heard before was that like the prescriptions that family doctors give are mainly just like the same prescription, like the same like antibiotic over and over again. So
Yeah,
they kind
it's.
of like the pharmacist knows. They
I
just
think
know at this point.
I think it's just a basic over the counter. A lot of times it's just basic over the counter drugs what your family doctor is given.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I don't know. When I got my wisdom teeth out, I got a prescription for like two types of medication, which was
Yeah.
like painkillers, and the other one was it was like stronger painkillers. They were and like pills for like infection, just in case.
Yeah.
So I took them to prevent infection, right? Because you know your mouth gets gross when there's huge cuts open in your gums. But yeah, so like I feel like that's not like a regular prescription though, so that must be like a thing. Because like
Yeah, but I
but
feel
the
like they.
dentist prescribed it, which was weird.
Yeah, I guess he's like a specialist, so he has the
He
ability
he
to
can
prescribe.
prescribe. I didn't think dentists could like have prescriptions. I
Uh,
guess they
I
can.
don't know. I feel like dentists can. Yeah,
He prescribed it, and I went to the pharmacist and got the
yeah.
pills.
Like a dermatologist can prescribe medication too. So like,
I guess they're all like doctors. If you can prescribe, you got to
well,
be like
they're doctors, but they're not like medical doctors. That's the thing.
they're a specialist. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they
So they,
specialized
but
in a certain field.
see, in their course, in their program, they probably did like a training session that got them that made them have the ability to prescribe medication.
Yeah. Like pharmacists gotta know a lot. Pharmacists know a lot.
Yeah, they know all the drugs and what they
Like,
do and
which
how
is
they affect your
crazy
body
because
and
like you can literally go up to a pharmacist and ask them about any like the drugs in the drugstore, and they'll be like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I would recommend this, or this has this in it, which can help you with this, or whatever." Like they know a
yeah,
lot. They know a lot of
yeah.
stuff. They're smart dudes for sure.
Smart ditties.
But yeah, they. I also not want to know what they do back there. Like they always go back, and I'm like, "What are you doing back there? Like
Yeah,
mixing stuff?"
they're just
They
mixing it
must.
all up.
You know what I always picture? But like when it's a pill, right? Do they make the
Mm.
pill or do they have the pills back there?
They make the pill.
So they make the pill in the pharmacist's place?
Yeah, they put it. They'll like put the powder into the capsule and then they'll like close the capsules on to each other and all that. They might have like a machine. Yeah.
It's cool because
But I
like
feel like that's more of like a
pharmacists,
pharmacy tech, like a
yeah,
pharmacy
like
technician or like a whatever
yeah.
that
Like
does that kind of stuff.
but they have to do it. Yeah, the guy that works in the back, you mean? Like you don't he
Yeah,
doesn't come out to the counter. Like
yeah,
he's like a tech, so he goes back there and like puts the powder in the pills.
yeah. He makes the concoction. You know.
Yeah, and it's cool because pharmacists always have lab coats on.
Yeah, they're just always
They're
rocking the
dressed in
lab coat.
white and they're always
Yeah,
in lab coats. They look like scientists.
yeah,
It's so weird to see a pharmacist because it's like pharmacists. Sometimes pharmacists are like can prescribe like can recommend something better than a doctor. I've heard people say that where like they've asked
oh
the
yeah,
pharmacist and the pharmacist has been like, no, I'd recommend this. Like not
yeah,
over the counter stuff. Obviously, they're not going to change your prescription. I don't mean that. I mean like, no, I mean over the counter stuff. I don't mean like prescription. I mean, like,
yeah,
if you went to there and the doctor's like, oh, yeah, just take whatever. And then the pharmacist is like, well, I'd recommend this one because whatever. The pharmacists sometimes know because they just know so much about each individual drug, what they do. I don't think a doctor knows, like, I don't know if a doctor knows as much as a pharmacist does. I like to know what a pharmacist knows and what a doctor knows about,
the
like,
thing is,
drugs.
what a pharmacist needs to know, what a doctor needs to know is very different. Like it's a doctor needs
Yeah.
to know what each
Yeah.
drug does, but at the same time, he needs to know why he's prescribing it.
Yeah, he needs to know why what he's prescribing and what's it for and what effect is it going to have on you because like if you go in and you say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got this," and they prescribe you painkillers, they got to know what level of painkiller to prescribe you cuz they
Yeah,
can't like prescribe you like now mind you, if you're going to like your family doctor, they're not prescribing you like I don't think they're going to prescribe you like Percocets. You know what I mean?
no,
Like
they
that's
just
not that level of. Also, is a family doctor the same as like a doctor in a hospital? Are they the same doctor?
yeah, yeah,
They're the same level of education, right?
yeah. It's just a different setting. Like you're just
I
in
didn't
a
know if like a practitioner and like a doctor were the same thing.
practitioner is different than a well, if you, yeah, they're the same because what you do like when you're in medical school, you train to be in any situation. So like you train to be a family doctor, you train to be a
Cause
whatever.
no offense to family doctors, but I always thought like doctors in the hospital knew more.
Yeah,
Just because like this seems like I know there's like different wings in the hospital, like there's different like locate like there's the ER and then there's like pregnancy and then there's whatever, but like
yeah,
I always feel like doctors in the hospital knew more because they like prescribe like way more serious drugs than what a family doctor does.
yeah. I don't know. There's probably like additional training that you need to have when you want to work specific area, like
Yeah, because like you go to your family doctor, they're just prescribing like you said, like basic drugs. But like if you
yeah,
go to like uh hospital and like you have a serious whatever, like they can prescribe you like any like high level drug.
yeah. And I guess a family doctor could too, but I don't know. It's
I
just
guess they
like
could too.
there's more
By the
serious
way,
cases in the hospital.
so does the doctor in the hospital get so does the doctor in the hospital when they prescribe you, I don't know, I've never been in this situation, but like it does the doctor in the hospital when they prescribe you medicine, does the pharmacist that works in the hospital give it to you there? They give you the drugs there, right? Like they don't you don't take the
Yeah,
prescription anywhere, do you? Or did they give it
you
to you
can.
there?
Yeah, you can. It's they might give you some when they leave the hospital. They might give you some to take additionally, like when you leave the hospital, like after.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then you would go to a pharmacist and they would get it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
okay.
when you're at the hospital, they like administer whatever you
So
need
there
at the moment.
is um so does is there pharmacists that work at a hospital?
Yeah,
I thought there was. I
yeah.
thought there was. I'm
So
asking a lot of
there's
questions here because I
there's
don't
like
know much
community
about the medical.
pharmacists, and then there's like hospital pharmacists. There's like a bunch
I
of
feel
different.
like community pharmacists got it good.
Yeah,
The guys who work at like your local like drugstores or like your local like medicine shops or whatever you want to call them.
yeah,
I feel like they got it pretty good. Same thing with family doctors. I feel like family doctors got it pretty good.
yeah. I think the only thing with family doctors is they're like super busy, but they might be in a
Oh
hospital
yeah,
too. I don't
you
know.
work at a clinic. You're flat out all the time
Yeah,
because
you're
you
just
got
not
like
having a break.
so many people there all
Yeah,
the time. I remember I literally went to I was to a clinic once and like it's literally like people like when your flight is overbooked. Like it's like
yeah.
three people had the same appointment time that I did. I'm
Man,
like
people are
what
at the clinic.
like what
Like there's
is
like a
this?
new
Like the
Yeezy
airport?
shoe dropping outside.
Oh
Like
man,
they're
it's
just
insane.
yeah,
And from like a mom there with her 6 year old to like an 87-year old man, like
yeah,
everybody's there.
yeah,
Not so many people in between, just always that age gap. A lot of
yeah.
old people there at the clinic.
Loads of
Lots.
old people, and they're all talking to each other.
They all know each other because they're always there,
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, there you go again. Here we are together again."
and they always go and talk about their issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like family doctors would be the best. I feel like I would want to be. So, what are we talking when it comes to like practitioner? What's a practitioner then?
A general practitioner is just like a family doctor.
That's what I thought
Uh,
a family doctor was. That's what was my point. So like
you might need additional training for a hospital doctor. I don't know. I
that
really
was
don't
my
know.
whole point of this conversation. Like I
Yeah.
thought a family doctor was I said a practitioner, but general practitioner, and then
Yeah.
a like a person in a because you mean to tell me the same like a doctor in the family doctor is the same as no offense to family doctors. I'm just saying like you mean to tell me somebody over here is a family doctor and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you get medication for an infected toe now, right? Or is the same as a hospital doctor over here that can prescribe someone like a super high end drug like Percocets, like a real
The
big
thing is,
painkiller.
what I think you are thinking of is, say, like an orthopedic doctor, or like a
I'm more of a
uh,
specialist. Because
yeah,
what I'm
that's like
saying
they're
is like
specialized for that area.
a big
Like,
drug like that or like a drug like Motrin or like a regular painkiller whereas like yeah you can get messed up from painkillers but like they're not as bad as like someone if someone prescribed you like a high level drug that could
yeah,
really do damage if you take too much.
because those doctors, a lot of them, I believe, are specialists. But when you go to a hospital and you go to the emergency room, and you get called in, the first person who looks at you is just like the same as if a family doctor looked at you. It's just like a they you would say that it's like a family doctor. They just come in and look at you the same as your family doctor would. And then once you say if you they figure out your problem or whatever, they bring you to whatever. Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like
so
the people who give you those, but I feel like they're trained to prescribe drugs. So I think a family doctor can prescribe anything really, whatever a person
yeah,
needs. But I
I
don't
guess
know.
so. I guess they could. It just never ends up being that because if they are, you're prescribed to a like if it's that serious, you're going to a hospital. You're not going to a clinic.
Yeah, they send you to like a specialist.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah.
All right. So after this, we might be doctors.
Yeah, we're essentially doctors after that conversation. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. 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 I'm gonna be a general specialist. I'm gonna be a special, generally special practitioner.
Yeah. You
I'm
guys didn't know that's like the hidden branch where like
yeah
doctors are in the back and they don't really, they're
yeah
just
they
there
don't.
for the knowledge. Like
I always
you come to
love the
me and
doctors
then
though. Like they're great. Like when they like come in, they're like the nurse like gets you all ready and whatever. If it's like a registered nurse or whatever, but like they like
yeah.
get you all ready or whatever, and a doctor comes in. He like, yeah, all right, how you feeling? Yeah, good. Okay, so we're going to put you on this drug for how long? I don't know why I got an accent. I feel like they always have an accent. I don't know why.
Always do. It's always
But
British.
like they're always like, yeah, so we're gonna put you on this drug or whatever. You're gonna feel some slight pain, and then they just leave,
Yeah.
and that's it. I'm like, what? Wait, what? But you're, and then they're just
You're,
gone.
you're gonna put me on who, what, when, where, why, and
Where
how?
where did they go? They just go back to their. Where are they going? Like they always just come in, say like sentences, and then just leave again. Like
Yeah.
they just state facts and then just leave. Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
going to be on this for 2 weeks, and once you get off, you're going to know some slight pain, slight irritation. That's fine. Um, but once you get off that, then you should be. So hopefully, once you get off that, you'll be all healed up. All right. If you need anything, just let us know. And then you just leave. And then they're
Just
like,
goes.
then the nurse does everything else. The doctor's
Yeah.
like, yep, peace.
Yeah.
I feel like as he's walking out of the office, like he just like holds it, puts back his arm. They take off his coat and like
Yeah.
he like gets undressed as he's walking. You know what I mean? He's like they like walk in early in the morning and like make their cup of coffee. He's like, yeah. So what do we got on the agenda for today? Oh, well, you got to see Bernie at 2. You got an appointment you got a surgery at 4:30 a.m. Yeah, that's the loophole that I went down. I went down a video, by the way. This is gonna be the last point. And then we're wrapping it up. But I went down a loophole. A loophole. I went down a wormhole on YouTube, and next thing I know, I'm watching the day in the life of a brain surgeon, and it was pretty interesting actually.
I seen that.
Dude said he spent like 13 years in school.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Like what?
That's
I,
insane. I
that's
mean, for
crazy.
you to be a brain surgeon, but he was like, he has a bed they have bunks in the hospital. I didn't know that they can sleep because he was like 24 hours as a brain surgeon, and he literally
Yeah.
slept. He literally stayed at the hospital for 24 hours because he
Yeah.
had to. Because there was a patient that he was gonna need to check up on like periodically because he had to. He was doing a surgery.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You imagine being a brain surgeon? Oh gosh.
So much trust put into your hands. It's
A
crazy.
brain surgeon.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I forget that.
Nah.
For
Not for
anybody
me.
who's doctors out there, if you're watching this, you guys are soldiers. You,
And the dude was like, well, I seen one. He was a surgeon as well, and they were like, "Is it worth it or whatever?" Or at least you guys get paid like a ton. But he was like you guys don't realize we work long, long
they
hours.
do.
Like,
They work hard. Anybody in the hospital
yeah,
works hard.
yeah,
Those like nurses and all those people, they all work hard. They're
yeah,
hard. They work a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like they work long hours in the hospital.
yeah. They work intense
Doctors work
hours,
long,
and
intense. You take a surgery, like that dude said. I think he said in the video that it was like a multiple hour surgery.
yeah,
It was a
oh yeah,
long time. You
Yeah.
imagine being in a, I don't know how long the surgery was, but like I feel like they can be like 4 or 5 hour surgeries.
Yeah, I mean surgeries can go on for like I'd say like 12 hours. Like they go on for there's sometimes they can go on for a
Because
long
I think
time.
that's what he said. It was like a 4 or 5 hour surgery,
Yeah.
and they were starting it like early in the morning.
Yeah, well you take like pregnancies, you hear like some pregnancies lasting like literally like over 12 hours long. Like
That's
the
that's
nurses and
insane.
everybody got to
You
be there
imagine
then.
like the doctors and nurses and everything is just
Yeah.
standing by.
Yeah.
They have to be there,
Yeah, they got to be there.
which is crazy. And like the hospital never close. You never get like a snow day. You have to be at
No.
work. You're just going to go to work. You're a
Yeah.
nurse. You have to be there.
Yeah.
Like your job is like a hospital don't close because it's stormy outside. Like sorry guys, we're
No.
taking the day off. It's
Sorry.
like
Yeah, broken leg? Nah, sorry.
you gotta take the day
Hey,
off.
look at the time. Look at the date.
Yeah, yeah, dude, it's Christmas Day. Relax. I'm going home.
And he's like, you're just leaving the hospital too. And he's like walking up to the door. He's like, help, help. And you're just leaving. He's like, look at the time. We're closed.
Yeah. You know what I'd be so nervous of too? If like I was the doctor that was like just released on my own after like being like I don't know, man. I'd be scared to I'd be terrified. But he said in the video that there's another doctor in the room with him. Like
Yeah.
there were two of them there.
Yeah, there's a ton of surgeons in the
So
room.
there's not just like you, like there's a whole audience. Like you
Yeah,
just
you're
gotta
just not like you're not just in there by yourself working on the
I'm working
yeah.
on this man's brain.
Yeah, no, you got people. It's like a room full of people. Like it's
Yeah, it's a room full of people. They bring in the jury, they
yeah,
sit
it's
down.
crowds of people just cheering and
Yeah, yeah. They
it's
like,
crazy.
all right, we're gonna move the whatever thing
And then
to the next.
there's glass that people watch uh train surgeons that are training.
I feel
Um
like yeah, I've heard that too. That's just surgeons in training.
they
You
like watch.
imagine if you're a surgeon in training and they're like, oh right now you're gonna. I don't know why I keep going to the accent. Why do I keep going
Go
to that
on,
accent?
just grab me the scalpel.
Yeah, and you imagine if you're a surgeon, and they're like, yeah, this is what I want to be, and then you finally get to the hospital part, and you go to watch a surgery, and they're like, oh, don't worry, it's just a slight thyroid or whatever thing, and they're like, go to do it, and they're like, right, okay, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna move this, we just gotta reposition the, and you're like, wait, yeah, but remember, this is very crucial importance. Um, if you move this one to here, you could paralyze the man and he may never live again. So, and if you do this one wrong, he'll never walk. This one here, he may not remember anything. By the way, this one over here, he won't be able to move his left finger. If we move this one to here, he won't have no reflex. He won't be able to talk right. By the way, if you put this one here, he may end up talking backwards. This one here, he can't sleep. This one over here, if you move this one to here, we've never done that before, but pretty sure that he ends up actually talking backwards and like he can't breathe right. So yeah, you might not want to touch that one. We're just going to move this one because he has a slight brain, and we just connect this one here. It heals. All right, we're done. I'm like, wait a second. What did he just say?
Wait, what do I do?
Wait, what? So all I heard that like if I like move this one to here, like he's like, what did he say? Did he say he can't blink and he farts all the time? I don't know. What was that?
That
Like
doesn't sound too bad.
like I mean, it's not horrible, is it? You just get dry eyes. Why is this
Scary
man
stuff.
in here anyway? Like that's what I don't understand. And how did they cut it all? I feel like now surgeries are just done like they do two like holes and then they just go in with like cameras and fingers.
No, they take off the full thing.
They're like decapping the brain.
Yeah, they take it all off.
Whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah. They literally just like cut
What does your
around.
brain look like? You imagine just seeing a brain? Oh,
Yeah.
it's
I
gotta be
don't
so
think they
much.
cut fully around. They just cut a spot where they need to get
But like,
into,
there's gotta be so much fluid in there. It's gotta be like jiggling around.
Oh, disgusting.
I just feel like full of like fluid, and then like cut it open, and it's just like like when you You know, like if you open up, like if you cut a part in a balloon and the balloon is like half full of water, like almost to the
Yeah.
top, and it's just like sloshing around. I feel like that's what it's like. It's like, and you're like,
Gosh.
hold on, shine. You're like, shine the light in, and then your brain is just like floating there, and they're like, oh, and you're like, oh gosh, all right, do it. What do you? Where do you even start as a doctor?
I feel like they have just like a mapped out plan. What they're gonna do, get in, get out, sew it back up, boom, done.
And I just hope the dude wakes up.
Yeah. Just
Or
hope it's wired right.
and the hope that the anesthesiologist put enough anesthesia in this dude so that he actually wakes back up.
Yeah, that's terrifying. There's actually stories like people waking up during their surgeries.
Oh
Like, oh,
gosh, no. No,
terrible.
don't do that. Don't even wake up. Don't do that. Anyway, that is it for the podcast for this week. Let us know in the comments below. Are you a doctor and what do you do?
What do
And
you do? How do you do? And how do you do it?
I'm just
Really?
gonna say props to you guys because I wouldn't want your job. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not smart
Yeah.
enough for that. So anyway, see you guys in the next one.
See you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this video or any of our
But
other videos, why don't you just drop a like on it, comment,
just
and give us a subscribe. Smash that little button down there.
give us a sub. But one thing I did want to throw in, we will be streaming now, hopefully. Not on this channel. We'll be streaming on twitch.tv/trash media, and we'll be there. And we'll be streaming some games every now and then. Most likely it'll be on the weekends, sometimes on the weekday. It don't matter. More than likely it'll be on the weekends because the weekdays are kind of jam-packed with editing and doing all this stuff with the podcast.
Yeah.
So on the weekends we kind of got some more free time. So yeah, be prepared for that. It'll probably be late. It's going to be late. Obviously, we always work at night. We're like, that's what we do.
We're just night crawlers.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.
Peace. I need to grow a fat beard.